Okay. Reading on, it says Egyptian scripts was announced by Jean-Francois Champollion in Paris in 1822. It took longer still before scholars were able to read ancient Egyptian inscriptions. And those scholars were so-called white individuals, which no doubt were probably educated at Oxford or Cambridge. All right. It took longer still before scholars were able to read ancient Egyptian inscriptions and literature confidently. Major advances in the decoding were recognition that the stone offered three versions of the same text, 1799, that the Demotic text used phonetic characters to spell foreign names, 1802, and that the hieroglyphic text did so as well and had perversive similarities to the Demotic, and that in addition to being used for foreign names, phonetic characters were also used to spell native Egyptian words. Champollion.
Yeah, I got something else. This here is Ptolemy the First soda. All right. Here's a picture of him. Let me try to get a good. See him? That's the first Ptolemy of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Oops.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Those Ptolemies, they were so-called Jews.
Well, they were Edomites.
Yeah, they were Edomites. Which
they were Edomites, and they were Edomites. They were, in other words, the so-called white man are the Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no record whether they so-called Jews or not. They just, let's just say that they're Edomites. And that's the first Ptolemy. When they took over, during his lifetime, that's when they took over, during the time of Alexander the Greek, when they took over the Egyptians. And what did they do? That's what they do. They put the gobs of their captives. See? So anything that you got, any book that you read, you want the mic?
That's Ptolemy the Second, right there.
Yeah, Philadelphus, his son.
Yep, that's him right there. So that's what they did. They just took over the Egyptian culture and the dress.
So you know what? Just because you dress in the garb of the ancient Egyptians and Kemet, don't make you a Kemet person.
Don't make it so.
So just because you got that ponytail on the side of your damn head, man, and making the music videos, don't make you an Egyptian, my man. All right?
That's it.
That's right. So, so basically, I mean, what we're showing you basically is that this whole Egyptian thing and you so-called Negroes gravitating to the Egyptian thing is all a big joke, man. You're only doing it because those Egyptians are, have brown skin and kinky hair or woolly hair, and that's why you're doing it, but you really don't know your origins because not all dark-skinned people are the same people. You have dark-skinned East Indians, you have dark-skinned Arabs, and the dark-skinned Arabs and the dark-skinned East Indians, they know that they're different people one from another, even among the Africans. You had different tribes of Africans. You had Mizraim, you had Put, you had Canaan, and you had Cush. And out of those four, they were four separate nations, but they were all Hamites. So just because you're dark skinned don't mean you're of the same people. Even though those Hamites are all the same people, but they were broken up into different tribes. When you look on the planet Earth, the majority of people on the Earth were all people of color. About 85%, 75 to 85% of the people on the planet were people of color, And at one time, right, it was 100%. It wasn't until Cain came on the scene, that white skin started, so-called white skin started appearing. Right.
Disappeared through the flood. The white man came on the scene as Cain when he was cursed with leprosy. And that all the so-called white people, his sons disappeared along with everybody else except for Noah. Noah actually existed along with his 3 sons. And all Noah and his 3 sons were dark, so-called black people. And they were supposed to repeople the earth. And the white man came out of one of them sons. Like you call us Hebrew Israelites, really when you talk to about the white man would be known as Hebrew Edomites. Okay?
Yeah, because they're Shemitic too. And then in process of time, the so-called white man came back again through a black man and a black woman by the name of Isaac and Rebekah. Their son Esau or Edom. That's when the so-called white man came back on the scene after the flood. You know? And that's where the so-called white race came back again on the planet. You know, but prior to that, you know, at the beginning, everything was dark. You know, from the dark, rich soils of the ground. You know, going back to Adam and the Adamites and the people that were back then. You know? So just because you're a dark-skinned person doesn't make you the same people. So you gravitate to that, but you have no understanding and no knowledge of history concerning how the Israelites came into the interiors of Africa and how they were spread among the Africans.
He cherry picks his history, man. I mean, we do the same thing. You know, anytime we see a book that confirms or backs up what we teach, we're going to use that book. But we also go on other books too. We check out the books that you speak on. But anyway, it says here, I looked up the word Ham, and I googled the word Ham, and it says Ham, son of Noah. It says Ham, right? Hebrew, the Hebrew word, if you know how to read Hebrew, is Cha-ma, which is Chum. And the word means, if they don't give you the meaning here, anyway, it says Ham. It says Ham, Hebrew, Chum, modern. Hold on, let me get that.
Right. So the term Ham goes back to Chum, which the term Chum is a actual Hebrew term, which doesn't mean burnt. They say here burnt. It really means hot. You know, it really means hot. And that's where the term comes from. So the word Kemet really means hot. It doesn't mean black. You know, that's something that a definition they came up with after. Because the term Kemet or the term Chum goes back to the Hebrew. It doesn't come from any other language but the Hebrew. Then later on it was translated because the so-called Africans, the Hamites, they weren't known as a burnt face until the time of the Greeks when they took over the Cushites and called them Esapar, which means they call them dark skin, you know, which that's what the word Esapar means, which means dark skin. So that's when that whole terminology came from. But when you go back to the origins of the name of Ham or Kemet, it means hot.
Yeah, and it's gonna be in the blue letter. Let me go to the blue letter right quick. Okay, this is in blue letter, the Hebrew lexicon. The same word, chum, right? Cha-ma. It says come. Excuse me. The word there, chum, means hot. And that's where you suppose you get the word, the word chemistry derived from the word cum, a chemical action is when things get hot, you know. It says second son of Noah, father of Canaan, and of various peoples which were inhabitants of southern lands. Now the ancient Hebrew scholars refer to it as the Canaanite tongue, or they may say the Phoenician tongue, which the word Phoenicia or Phoenician is the Greek way of saying Canaanite, because the ancient Canaanites were speaking the same language that we were speaking. All right?
Yeah, and that's why you so-called Egyptologists say that we stole the language from you guys. We didn't steal the language from you. The language at the beginning.
Well, we didn't speak that language. We don't speak your same language, man. Now the argument would be which language came first. That's not important, man. Because when the children, I said earlier, when the children of Israel came into power, they were the last nation. Give me that in Deuteronomy 7. They were the last nation to come into power, man. They were the last.